Professor GALADIMA died of COVID-19 17 days after visiting presidential villa. One of the 3 Nigerian professors who died of COVID-19 in the course of the last 2 weeks had visited the presidential villa, Abuja, 17 days before his death. The 3 professors killed by COVID-19 were Uba Galadima, who was Director General of the National Institute of Policy and Strategy Study, NIPSS, Femi Adekunle, Nigerian First Professor on Criminology and member of the Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption, PACAC, the Oyewusi, and Oyewusi Ibidapobe, the former Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos. Presidential spokesperson Femi Adesina revealed in an opinion piece that he had refused Galadima at the presidential villa when he led some NIPSS students on a visit to present their research findings on population growth and human capital development challenges and opportunities to Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari. In my capacity as compare, I consulted and related closely with Professor Galadima. We discussed who would do what on the program. We were engaging till about 2 hours event was concluded. We both had our face masks in place and still tried to respect the principle of social distancing even as we conferred. You couldn't imagine my shock when 17 days later I heard the death of the erudite professor. He had reportedly been admitted at an isolation center in Abuja on the 19th of December, but sadly he lost the battle for life the next day. All the learning gone, all the intelligence perished, the knowledge and quest for more knowledge kaput. What a waste! Say waste, Adesina said in an opinion article. The presidential aide further expressed sadness that 2 of the 3 professors died before the clock 60. He said Galadima died at the age of 57, noting that he was not ripe at all. Adesina said to the other professor killed by COVID-19 in the last 2 weeks, Professor Femi Adekunle, I probably knew closest among the 3 fallen scholars. I visited his home in Wuse area and of Abuja very regularly. And he had a way of saying, Femi, please, let's see you on your way from the church on Sunday. And I usually did. Adekunle was a Buharist, and we usually had a lot of discussion about our principal trends in government and anti-corruption war and many others. When he needed background information on certain issue, he usually sent for me. When COVID-19 came, Adekunle home took all the precautions. You must wear face masks before you were granted access, and someone was always by the door to apply sanitizers on your hands. So, how did Professor catch COVID? Or rather, how did COVID catch him? Mysterious, inscrutable battling. On the Professor Oyewusi Ibidapobe, Adesina said, it was a shock for me to hear the news. He was a first-class brain, best graduating student in his set, who had his master's and PhD in record time. He was president of the Nigerian Academy of Science, but imprudent COVID-19 did not respect all that now. All the learning gone, all the intellect gone, perish, all the knowledge and the search for more knowledge kaput. What a waste, sheer waste. The presidential spokesperson further urged Nigeria to take every necessary precautions to avoid getting the killer virus, saying it's no time to be careless or reckless. The second wave of coronavirus is not smiling at all. He's not smiling at all. This is getting out of hand, and Nigerians are not still observing the precautions, the precautionary measures. Some of them don't even wear, most of them don't even wear their nose masks. Look at what happened to the family of Orisha Bomi, the Nollywood actress, the popular Nollywood actress, who died, and discovered that he had COVID-19, and his sister died, and her brother also died. 3 people in the family. Who knows who will join them? We pray God forbid. But if they are not being administered, the drug is not being administered, or they are not being taken to isolation center for treatment, they might end up dying. Same. Look at what happened in ASOROCK. They lost their pastor also to COVID-19. This is getting too much. The second wave seems to be more stronger. But what is government going to do with this issue? No lockdown as it is now. Where no suspension on social gathering yet. People are still, celebrating one thing or the other. People are still, going to worship centers, even with their nose masks though. But what is government going to do to this issue? We thank God for the vaccine that is now available. But is it, enough? And is it going to circulate through Nigeria? Let's see what people are feeling and how they feel about what is happening. GALADIMA visited ASOROCK 17 days after he died. Look at what we are facing. Only God knows what will still happen in that ASOROCK, because he must have contracted it either in that same ASOROCK or before he visited. Well, may his soul and their souls rest in perfect peace. But you people refuse to lock down international airports. Continue all of the will be visited by God. Most especially anybody that want to use COVID-19 to make money. We not stay to spend it. Okay? This one said that means Buhari must have the virus and he no one die, so that Nigeria will be free. Wow. COVID-19 manufacture. Is COVID-19 manufactured in ASOROCK? That is the question. Anyone that visited ASOROCK will surely contracted COVID-19. We contracted by COVID-19. This is not a good thing. This one is saying that, and yet Buhari is still alive without face masks, without hand glove. He must be superhuman. Okay? That is your own opinion. This one is saying that there is an urgent need to conduct a study to unravel the association between COVID-19 contraction and ASOROCK visitation. ASOROCK visitation. Everyone is now scared of visiting ASOROCK. Once they visit ASOROCK, they contract COVID-19. So everybody should be careful with the way they visit ASOROCK. You see, nothing is permanent, including position. That is it. Nothing is permanent. Imagine their qualifications, Imagine their professional or qualification. Imagine their level of education and the one they are still going to acquire. Vanity upon vanity. All is vanity. COVID-19 came and cleared them all. We are not praying for more death. We are praying for those that have died of this virus, that God grant them eternal rest. And may the country, have a proper solution, permanent solution to this issue. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to Tarish TV. Now we'll see you on the other news. Be careful with the way you go out. Always wear your nose masks. Always, observe social distancing. And always, use your hand sanitizer. Wash your hands regularly. Thank you. And I will see you on the other news.